I have been on YouTube for 6 months now, and I am not a YouTube superstar. So why am I continuing to do this? If not for what most people would think would be the goals of having a YouTube channel. It's tough trying to come up with stuff to talk about every week. So why? To answer that, we need to look at why I started this channel in the first place. It was not to make millions of dollars. It was not to make millions of subscribers. It wasn't to be particularly influential, at least not on a grand scale. I do want to be influential, but on a small scale, on a real scale. But let's talk about why I started this in the first place. It actually was because, so the last 2 years of my life have been spent trying to conquer fears, trying not to let fear dictate the decisions I make. So I was in what most people would consider a good career, but it wasn't working for me anymore. And to the point where it was damaging. It wasn't good for me in my spirit, my body, anything. And I was scared to walk away, but I needed to walk away. So I did. And and I've chronicled all this on the channel. Started networking, started volunteering, have started to get some opportunities to get my legs underneath me again. But now the YouTube piece of this was not part of the opportunity piece. This was something I did because one of the fears I've always had is how I look and how I sound. So I've shied away from opportunities where, had I put myself out there, like either on YouTube or public speaking engagements, things like that, where I could have maybe gotten more opportunities. But I was shied away from that because I'm like, who would want to hear me speak? Who would want to see this for any prolonged period of time? And about 6 months ago, I had a situation where those fears were thrown in my face, where it was like, oh, well, you can't do this thing, or this person must be right, you must be wrong, because as you know, no one would ever want to see your face or hear your voice. And in my new spirit of conquering my fears, I said, well, okay, normally I would respond to this by shying away and backing away and climbing into a hole. But now, with this new spirit that I have, I'm going to respond to feeling like no one should hear my voice or see my face by starting a YouTube channel. And so that's what actually started this, was like an abject reflex to a fear that had constantly kept me down in the past. So that's where it started. But then as I started putting out a couple videos, and then it started to be like, now that I'm getting a cadence, a rhythm of putting videos out every week, and with every one of those videos showing that I'm less and less fearful of showing my face and showing my voice. So now what's the next thing? And that's kind of where I'm at right now, is what is the next thing on this? Because if I'm going to keep doing it, I'm going to keep building momentum, right? It might not be thousands, millions of subscribers momentum, but I'm going to continue to get better at this. And my subscriber count is going to continue to go up, the rate of which is immaterial to this discussion. So with that will come some responsibilities and some possibilities. So what do I want this to be? And I've decided, like, if I am going to get any power from this channel, I want that power to be the power of change. And so as I'm getting older, I'm 54 at this taping, putting myself over doesn't appeal to me anymore. Like, saying that I'm better than someone else is no longer like a goal, because I see the problems of the world, and I'm about to overgeneralize, but I see the issues in the world having to do with everyone trying to get over on everyone else. Whereas I think a good life is not one where you've achieved more than most. I think a good life is one where you've helped others achieve better than they could have. Right. So, like, living in the world we all want to live in is achieved not when one or two people get everything they want, but when everyone gets the most out of their life that they could have. With all my volunteer work and my public speaking work, and now with this YouTube channel, I can say my goal is to help you who watches this video be in a slightly better position than you were before you watch the video to get the best version of your life. And so, what is that going to look like? I don't know. So, right now, I still have a passion for making videos about how important networking is. I still have passion making videos about the changing landscape of AI and what that looks like. I enjoy making these type of videos where I'm chronicling my journey from walking away from what most would consider a good career to finding something more meaningful and the challenges that brings with it. Like what I talked about in this video about conquering fears, getting out of your comfort zone. I love making videos about that. I've also, with all of these videos, developed a passion for video editing. I really enjoy taking raw footage and turning it to something semi-coherent. I want to continue down that path, gradually increasing the production value of these videos. The main goal is just to keep going, keep learning, keep getting a little bit better every day. And hopefully by me being this honest, I will maybe connect with some people that I wouldn't have connected with if I'd have just tried to make this video another as polished as I'm currently capable of video. I hope that this resonated with you on some level and that you will like the video and take a look at some of my other stuff and see if this is a horse that you're willing to back to see where this leads now that you know what I'm trying to do with this. So, anyway, as always, as I like to say, thank you so much for your time and attention, and we will talk again soon.